What is up, everybody? Good morning. It is Tuesday, January the 30th. Tomorrow's the big day. We got FOMC tomorrow, so the markets are going to be relatively slow today, right? So there's going to be a lack of liquidity compared to other days. The charts are probably going to move a little bit more slowly. It's not necessarily going to be the case, but that usually is the case. So this is definitely a day that I'm going to either just kind of do scalping, or I might even avoid trading altogether and just study and stuff like that. So go ahead and hop on. Looks like we already have somebody in the comments here. Let's see what we got. Oh, Mavbet, good morning to you. We're going to jump right into it. We'll talk more about what we do later, but you can always zap that QR code on the top right-hand corner if you want to go to our website and find out who we are, what we do, and also please like, subscribe, follow, click that notification bell. That's going to help us with the algos, help us bring more people in to watch. And as you may know, the more people in here, the stronger we are. More eyes on the market. Okay, so you're looking at a screen right now. This is the Euro Australian dollar. Nothing special here. I just have a couple of my algos up right now. So that's what's going on there. And I'm testing my new algo. The one on the bottom is actually my first algo, which I'm actually going to probably let people use for free. We're probably going to let people just use that one. And it's not meant to be used as a standalone. It's meant to be used in combination with other filters, as most algos are. However, the one you see on the screen with the green tab here and the red tab up here, the writing that's over the top of it, the writing won't be there, but the tabs will, and those are standalone indicators. So, and I don't necessarily want to like make this an advertisement for the indicators, but I'm just letting you know what you're looking at on the screen. Okay, so let me throw the link up in the chat, please. Go ahead, and if you have any questions, any charts that you want to see, I do think that this is like a good day to take a look at higher time frame stuff, right? To take a look at what's happening in the higher time frame. Yeah. So like, what might happen in a week, a few days. But I don't think today is quite as useful at this point to look at what's going to happen in like a few hours, right? That's not the lower time frame stuff on a day like today, not so much. Let me throw this link around just a little bit. Tell people that we are live, and I'll let a few questions come through the chat. We have a handful of people watching. That's good. Let's see here. We are live. Got that one. Man, I use a trackball, and I don't know what's happened. I don't know if it's the weather or, whatever, but like my thumb gets dry and I can't move the trackball around. It's annoying. Okay. The link is spread around a little bit. I think we'll probably start with crypto today. Who wants? I shut the alarms off, but I think these are indicators that are still open, just closing. So we might have a couple of these pop up here. See, entry. Okay, you know what it is? I think I have too many windows open. Let's close this one. For now, we'll close that one. We will close this window. And okay, so otherwise, those indicators are just going to keep popping off. It should bug the living daylights out of me. Let's restart inactive. Yes. And then let's close. Those will just go off all show. See how they're doing? Okay, that's just because I turned them back on. All right, let's stop all. Yes. Okay, hopefully that worked. I mean, they're all stopped if you look at the indicators to the right. Everything is stopped. All the alarms are stopped. All right. So if it keeps going off, then that's a technical glitch. But a lot of that is going to be because I run several instances of this at a time. They are all on the same computer. So it should be an issue. But you know how it is with tech. Tech is funky like that. All right. So we got a couple more people watching. Good. If you're watching, please leave some comments. If you have a chart you want to see, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to jump in and we're going to take a look at Bitcoin. BTCUSD. And let's see here. Okay, and let's go to a higher time frame. So the new indicator doesn't work past. Well, it works on like all the time frames below an hour, I believe. Look at that! What a pain in the butt, man. Hopefully that doesn't happen all show. I might have to close. I might have to close a few things. Tech Solutions wants to see Ada and Matic. All right. Let's see. Is this one open? Let's see here. Let me see here, Money Penny. Um, Gosh darn it. All right. So these are all supposed to be closed. Let's go ahead and clear the log. Maybe that helps. And then let's go to a higher time frame. We'll go to the other chart here. We'll go to my typical chart. We'll load the manual. No, we will leave. We'll add a layout here. Not a new layout. We're going to load the manual elegant. We'll take a look at ADA and Matic, but we want to start with Bitcoin because Bitcoin's just going to pretty much call all the shots. Let me take this off the screen and exit my trading station. Give me 1 second. Says we're having some tech stuff today. Thank you, TradingView, for being like a tech problem a little bit. Okay, so that's logged out. Got to maintain my privacy, folks. And we'll go ahead and expand the weekly and make this a little visible. We'll take a look at BTC USD and then we'll go to ADA and Matic. All right, so talked about this yesterday, and there's actually not a lot of change here. I did predict that Bitcoin would go up. In fact, let's roll over to the daily to get a better look at this. Okay. So you can see a couple of days ago, I predicted the move up, and sure enough, price has gone along with it. So this is a move that I did see coming to the top or towards the top of this range. And I'm not sure that this is ready to reject downwards yet. I think it's actually going to right now, go ahead and continue up. I think it's going to approach Bitcoin is going to approach about 44,580 ish. That level. In fact, we had a question in the show. It was last night after I was probably already asleep. Who is it? It was Ray. Do I see a Bitcoin breakout from an inverse head and shoulders on the 4-hour time frame happening? Ray, can you please post a chart of this so I can see what you are talking about? Question mark. All right, so we'll see if I can look at what Ray is talking about. He sees that inverse head and shoulders. What he probably means is a head and shoulders bottom rather than an inverse. Gosh, man, I shut these off and it just won't go away. Hopefully I don't have to deal with that all show. I don't know what to tell you. So let's go to a relative time frame to the 4-hour. So is this an inverse head and shoulders? This would be a head and shoulders bottom, and inverse head and shoulders is something different. Okay. So let's fix that terminology. And let's find our head and shoulders pattern. I mean, the breakout, by the time that Ray had said this, I believe if there was a breakout, it had already happened. I mean, this is not that clean. I mean, it's kind of legit, but let's see. I guess you could call this the so this it is a head and shoulders bottom. It's not an inverse head and shoulders. An inverse head and shoulders means that it's a continuation pattern, and this would be a reversal pattern. Price was going down, now it's going to come up, right? So that's not a head and shoulders inverse. That's just a head and shoulders bottom. The breakout happened around 8 p.m. last night. The message was sent. Yeah, around about that time, 8:30. So let's roll to a lower time frame. It was a breakout, but it didn't. I mean, I think it has more to go. I don't see it. It would go to the top of the range minimally, right? So you're looking at basically the top of this range, which is 44,420. Got the gorilla in the house. What is up, V?
Oh, hello there. I've been in the back room for quite some time.
Have you?
Yes, I have, since about 8:30ish or so.
Okay.
Yes. What are you jibber-jabbering about? Bitcoin?
Yeah, it's Bitcoin, yes. And then we're going to take a look at ADA and Matic for Tech Solutions. Tech Solutions asked for that. So,
Right.
I mean, it was a breakout. Let's see on the. It happened at about 9 o'clock. That's when the breakout happened. So Ray was working last night, and I say 8 o'clock. I'm talking my time, so about 10 EST. 10:30, he sent a message asking if there was going to be a breakout to Head and Shoulders bottom. The breakout has happened, but it didn't quite go to targets, and price is inside of this range that's been developing for months. So I would expect price actually to continue upward. I don't know if it's ready. It hit this this kind of wiki grab, this wick up, grab some liquidity from up high. I don't mess with trades on the day, like kind of the days before the FOMC. I just don't trade. So sure, maybe it's a breakout, maybe it's not, but on a day where Powell is going to talk, and like the day or two before that, I tend just not to trade that much because the volatility is like super low. But yeah, sure, it broke out right here, certainly, but it didn't go to the Head and Shoulders targets, which are going to be like, say, 44,440, all the fours. And then the next target up would be a breakout of the wider range, which is, price has been in more or less since December, with the exception of the ETF madness. And that would take price up to 46,000. So I'm not sure that price is really ready to break out that range. I mean, maybe it is, maybe it's not, but I don't mess with it until it does, right? I can say with some confidence. Are you okay there, bud? Did
Yep,
you
yep.
did you blow a gasket or?
No, yes, just choking on air,
I mean, price is bullish on the short term, right? And it's kind of bullish on the high time frame, but price is at a place where it's up against resistance. So the pullbacks in this scenario can be severe. Even though price wants to go up, the pullbacks can be severe, which is why you get this ranging action, right? You're bullish, but you're bullish up against resistance. So price could reject off the top here or not, and the Head and Shoulders could just be only to the 272. So that's the best look I can give it, and it has tried to make it up to that 272, but it got rejected pretty roundly. So price may come back down to that neckline. I'll put that back up here. Hold on. Control C. So what may happen is that price may come back down to the neckline on that and that what do you call it? Head and Shoulders bottom, right? And as it does come back to that neckline, what it may do is head back up. So, something possibly like this, and it might not even make it down. It might just simply start headed up sooner than that. But that's what I expect price to do right now, is to kind of hang out where it is, maybe go a little bit lower, and then make its way up to the 44,500 ish region. And then once it hits there, then we got to keep our eye on whether or not it breaks up to the top side. Because if it does, that means all the bears might be in for a surprise. So we'll see what happens, though. It's bullish, it's against resistance, which usually just means ranging price action. So until price breaks the range, then it doesn't break the range, All right, so ADA. It has been pretty quiet. It did have a nice move up earlier. Looks like Bitcoin moving up, right? Bitcoin not heading down has caused this possible move down not to happen. ADA is just going to follow Bitcoin, and it's going to be less bullish than Bitcoin. So what I'm looking at right here is that ADA is going to move up when Bitcoin moves up, but ADA is going to overall want to compress. So the moves up look like they're going to be moves up on the way down. So if Bitcoin's moving up, ADA is going to have upward energy, but overall it looks like it wants to deflate and end up back in this range. This, what is this? Between 25 cents and 42 cents. That's where it wants to be according to price action. And let's see what the algos say. Yeah. I mean, it could stay where it is. Gosh, man, I shut these off. I don't know what to tell you. They're just going to keep bugging us this whole day. All right. So, I mean, I think it's just going to range. I don't, that's ADA for you right now. It wants to range. There's not really much else to talk about. It's good. It may want to grab some liquidity from up top, but right now it looks like it's forming a range. So, I'd be looking for a place to possibly short it, but I'd see what happens, see if this range actually develops and forms, and try to trade that. But again, I'm not trading jack squat right now. Not until after FOMC. So, everything you're seeing on the charts right now, FOMC could tear it up. So we could spend all the time, talking about all kinds of stuff, but FOMC could just like twist that up. But it does look like price wants to head up to maybe 55 cents and grab liquidity and probably head back down. That's what it looks like, but we'll see. See what happens. Same with Matic. Matic's really no different than ADA. It's just everything is right now like I think people are assuming that the short-term top for Bitcoin is in, and so a lot of money is flowing towards Bitcoin as it's leaving the altcoins. Matic's range really was kind of like this, and it's back into that range more or less. So I would expect price to just stay in there until it doesn't. There's not a whole lot of energy for Matic or ADA or a lot of things, right? Because the ETF madness is kind of over. So, all the energy that happened because of that is just dissipating. And there's high time frame bullishness, but not a lot of it. And then there's kind of like a little bit of bearishness in the medium time frames. So again, you're just going to see a lot of ranging action with cryptos for a while. So I wouldn't be too excited about crypto. Where is it going to go? It's probably going to bounce around inside of this range. At this very moment, it looks like it's going to kind of stay where it is, possibly head down to 73 cents from about 80 cents. So, but at some point, if it does range, if the range is what happens, then it's probably going to want to make its way up to 94 cents. But in the current environment, I don't, if Bitcoin rises, it'll pull Matic up with it. That will happen, and it'll look kind of messy. It won't look that clean because Matic is sort of deflating a little bit. But, Bitcoin may pull it up. But again, if Bitcoin moves down, then Matic will probably move down faster, right? And that's just all of crypto for the most part. You're going to have your odd coins that, move on their own. Like you're going to have maybe like Ejective or, something that's hot right now that might be able to outperform Bitcoin. That may happen. So, okay. Well, let me make a quick note in the live show. Yeah, I think those alerts you're seeing are some of the so the way that the new algo works is that you'll have an entry, right? Where you see this red tab, and then these notes are actually the strategy tester taking down data, right? But like we talked about, the strategy tester, you can't really trust the numbers per se, but you can look at like the profit factor. That's kind of legit. Look at this percent profitable, terrible on this, on whatever I've got going on. 24.3%. That's not even doable. So, but that, you see, that's weird because yesterday it was sitting at like 65%. So I must be sampling a very small range. Let's see what goes on here. 23, 24. So going back a year. Yeah, that's weird. I mean, it's still profitable, but there's something going on with this. I will say that, look, this is how this indicator works. You have an entry, and it goes along here. And your stop loss will be however you program it, right? So if you want your stop loss, like I have it ATR based because I'm personally going to hook this up to the computer. So I can say, hold on, I'm going to get rid of ideally that writing. So I can say like for my inputs, my stop loss will be 1.5 ATR down from entry, 1.5 ATR from entry is the first target, second target's 2.5 from entry, third target's 3.5. So it's all ATR based. And then if I want to, I can take half of my money at the 50%, first take profit. I can take maybe a third of it off on the second one and then just the remainder on the fourth. Or if I want to, if I find that like when I'm testing that this does better on like it goes to all three targets, then I can weight it heavier to the third target instead. So I can put like half of it third target and then a third in the second, and then take the little tiny bit off on the first target. So I can customize my target area. I can customize how much I'm taking profit. I can there's an ATR level where basically this is like a minimum ATR of 3. So basically let me add the ATR to this chart so you can see what I'm talking about. The average true range is a measure of volatility, more or less. So what I've done is I've had it coded in to where I can say, hey, if the ATR is less than a certain amount, I'm not interested in this trade. So let's go to USD CAD. It's a little easier to understand it here. So I have, you see this ATR, this is the ATR, okay? This red line is the average true range, and it measures for going back several candles, the top of the candle to the bottom of the candle. So if you look at these candles right here, just the candles themselves, the size of these candles, more to March, see you in there in the comments, thank you. The size of these candles, your ATR is going to be a lot higher after this kind of move right here. That means there's a lot of volatility. But then when you get these little short choppy candles like this, there's not a lot of volatility, so the ATR is low. And in order to make money, generally in trading, we need volatility. So I have it set to where I can say, hey, if the ATR is less than 3, I'm not interested in the trade, right? And I can change that ATR minimum to whatever I want because 3 is just for Forex. What if I'm trading crypto, So for example, this is 0.030, that's 3 pips. If you look at the ATR here, right, I have it set right in the middle at 3 pips. Well, I mean, 3 pips, what is that? That means nothing for a stock or for crypto. So if I'm trading, say, like the SP 500, then I can change that ATR to fit whatever is the best ATR for that, right? So for example, like the ATR and the SP 500 right now, here we go with this crap, is going to be $1.70, right? So that's the ATR, and this is on the 5-minute chart. Like, so it's going to be a higher ATR for, like higher time frame charts. I already have the ATR up. Let me get rid of this. So all these little tiny kind of crappy candles right here, that's going to contribute to a very low ATR. And the lower the ATR, the less volatility there is, and it's just harder to make this work, right? Like you need more volatility to make money for the most part, unless you're trading the range. So for example, like this red tab here, yeah, I could have made some money short in that, but this is the 5-minute chart. That's not a lot of price movement. So basically the ATR being so low down here, I can program this to where the ATR needs to be above, say, we'll just like choose a number and say $2, right? So let's go to ATR minimum. Where is it? So on this one, I could put $2, right? ATR is 2. And that way this chart simply, like the indicators won't happen if the 5-minute ATR is below 2, right? And it's all gonna be based on the 5-minute ATR because I don't really trade below the 5-minute, right? So it's always gonna matter on the 5-minute. Like I could be trading on the daily, right? But the daily ATR is not that important. It's the 5-minute ATR that I'm concerned about, right? So, and this indicator works on the 5-minute, the 30-minute, and the actually works on anything up to an hour, and then it works on the daily, but doesn't work on like the hourly, the 4-hour. Doesn't work on that, but this is very, very adjustable, very workable indicator. You can talk about your different risks. These are in lots right now, so you can change that. That's just Forex lots. This is for connecting to Forex, right? Connecting to what do you call it? MetaTrader. So in MetaTrader, you trade in lots. So that's why this is designed in lots. This is a Forex centric indicator, right? Forex centric algo. But you can, trigger alert 1, trigger alert 2, alert 2 trailing stop, alert 3 trailing stop. Like this is all very programmable. I mean, this is crazy programmable. Pips for limit orders, like, so you can, if you want to go with limit order, you can use a limit order if you want to, because that'll actually save you. If you know the difference between limit and market, so you can do limit orders, trailing stop ATR period. I mean, trail long loss. This is for trading view only, so it doesn't apply to MetaTrader. But this is crazy. Like the amount of stuff, the amount of inputs that are in this that makes it customizable, that's insane. So this is fun stuff, man. I can tell you that. Let me turn this back off. Hit OK. And I can shut all this crap off. That way I don't get as many alerts. But I don't know what's going on with TradingView. I shut these alerts off and it just keeps going. So, but I'll figure that out. That's on TradingView's end. But I've been testing this indicator. Look, this is a good reason why you want a minimum ATR, right? So, I mean, these are workable. They're tradable, especially on like the SP500. There's a lot of liquidity, so you can scalp, right? If you want to scalp, then you can have your minimum ATR very low. But just from what I saw, like a minimum ATR of 2 kind of filters out a lot of those small trades. So these trades with the ATR below this blue line, those trades wouldn't happen. You wouldn't get those trades. And therefore, you wouldn't have to, you would like try to fish in that small pond, right? So it's just, you got to test for each asset that you're trading. You got to test, this one here, right on the edge. See, it might be like, oh, well, I want, maybe I need to lower this. Maybe this really good trades are happening above 150 and you get this fat trade. This is a nice gain right here. Right there. That's a beautiful trade. And the stops and the entries are all programmed in, but you get to customize them. So like this trade, that would have been a nice win right there. Technically, that's a win, right? And it would have won. I also have an automatic, I programmed an algorithmic exit, right? So basically, even though like you have your stop loss, you have your take profits that you program and you can customize those. I also have an automatic exit that it will tell you like, okay, it's time to get out of the trade. And if you program it to, it will simply exit you out of the trade. So, but this is, I mean, it's fucking, excuse my language, that's a work of art. Lisa Gray, cheers. So yeah, I just wanted to give you all a preview after doing some charts. This is exciting stuff. This indicator will be made available. The one on the bottom here, though, that's actually a nice indicator as well. Again, as I said before, it's meant to be combined with other, it needs filters, but it's a good solid indicator. And that one's going to be made available, like I think for free, to let you all try that out. And it's a good indicator. It makes the money. So that's that. So anyway, go ahead and zap the QR code in the top right-hand corner, and the gorilla will tell you what happens when you zap it as he moves us over to the private lab.
When you tap that QR code in the top right corner, folks, you are joining a very elite community, a community of people that understand, number one, what is going on in the world, number two, what's really behind the numbers in the market, and number three, how they're going to profit in the largest transfer of wealth in human history. They're looking to get paid, and they will get paid. Being part of the market is one of the few exploits you have as an American or a Westerner or anywhere in the world you are. Our techniques will allow you to work in any market, in any condition, in any place on the planet. No matter where you are in the globe, you could be on a beach in Bali, picking lint from your belly button, executing our protocols, and be successful in trading. We not only educate you on trading, but we also teach you how to build the very algorithms that trade on your behalf 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So you can have a life all the while enjoying every moment of it. Join us today, algofactory.tech. Trade your job, upgrade your life. Let's get into it, Cowboy.